Alright guys, today I'm going to be reading These Big Nuts. Somebody told me to read it, so I was just like, worrying. I was like, what is this? So I'm going to react. Alright.
Story Time with Tomfoolery presents Dee's Big Nuts. Dee was a squirrel who had big nuts. His nutsack was so big that it would drag on the ground everywhere he went. Dee had a friend named Sarah who loved nuts. Sarah would go around the town trying to put everyone's nuts in her mouth. Sarah loved how big Dee's nuts were. His nuts were her favorite. They were the biggest nuts she had ever seen. She would play with his nuts all day, and sometimes even at night. Sometimes her mom would join. They would take turns holding Dee's nuts at night. Sometimes Sarah would even try to put both of his nuts in her mouth at once. She would giggle. Her face would turn red. And then his nuts would come flying out. One day, someone ran up to his nuts and started poking them. "Hey, jerk, off my nuts," he said. Although Sarah loved Dee's nuts, she would sometimes kick them. She once kicked them so hard, she busted a nut. Dee was very sad that Sarah busted his nut. He just wanted Sarah to play nice with his nuts. One day, when his nuts were feeling better, she took them to lunch, where she got peanut butter all over them. His nuts were so sticky. After that day, she knew she would need to play nice, because all good squirrels know how to play nice with big nuts. The end. Finger these.
I did not expect that. These big nuts. What the? Look at this. Do you want to play with my balls? I don't get that. Yeah,
Dee was a squirrel who had big nuts. His nutsack was so big that he would drag on the ground everywhere he went. Dee had a friend named Sarah who loved nuts. Sarah would go round the town trying to put someone's nuts in her mouth. Sarah loved how big Dee's nuts were. His nuts were her favourites. They were the biggest nuts she had ever seen. Someone play with his nuts all day, and sometimes sometimes her mom would join. They would take turns holding Dee's nuts at night. Sometimes Sarah would even try to put both his nuts in her mouth at once. She would giggle, her face would turn red, and then his nuts would come flying out. One day, someone ran up to his nuts and started poking them.
alright.
"Hey, jerk off my nuts," he says. Although Sarah loved these nuts, she would sometimes kick them.
This guy's
She once kicked them so hard, she busted a nut. Dee was sad that Sarah busted his nut. He just wanted Sarah to play nice with his nuts. One day when his nuts was feeling better, she took them to lunch. Where she got peanut butter all over them. His nuts were so sticky.
Right, I don't get what...
After that day, she knew she would need to play nice. Because all good squirrels know how to play nice with big nuts. The end.
Yeah, I've seen this one. The memes 45. Forgot. You don't got memes out of the oven. I'm sorry. People don't like memes out of the oven.
D's big nuts.
Yeah, I've seen it auto-played that video, and I was so confused. I'm like, what is this? So I kept watching. Nothing to see there. So what if I just... What if I just hit this? It will pause you. So yeah, that's it for today. Next I'm going to be reacting to TikToks that I haven't seen. Like that book I've already seen, I just wanted you to be hyped that I'd never seen it. Well, you've never seen it either, so. Alright, anyway. I gotta figure out how to upload these real quick.